sugar. We have 1, we have 6 up there, and we have 2 sugars, 2 40 pounds, or 5-gallon buckets, 2 and 6. Oh, hello fellow YouTubers, Bear Prepper here. Today, as you see, I'm doing my inventory. And you should do this once a year because every now and then something slips out that you didn't remember that you took or that you just forgot to log in. And you add new stuff that you don't even think about adding. So I have my inventory sheet and I have a video on that. I'll put the link below on how to use it. I also have it uploaded to Google Documents so that you can access it if you need it, plus some other documents that I think you'll find handy. Your rehydration guide and that kind of thing to kind of help you through getting all your foods prepared. So as you can see, my shelves are a little bare when it comes to my home canned goods. That's what I'm going to be focusing on this year. I'm hoping that I get food out of the garden, because when you have a garden and you get food out of the garden, that means you can put more of your meats up. If you haven't checked out Zaycon Foods and they're in your area, highly recommend them. Their meats are of a fantastic quality. They tend to can extremely well. And I found that so far their texture is not deteriorating at the same rate as the store chicken is. And I'm sure it's because of the chemicals and the antibiotics and the way they just treat their chickens normally. So this is some really good chicken that you can get, really good beef. The fat quantity is the perfect ratio. So please check out Zaycon Foods. I'm hoping with my next order I can get you a video so you can see what it's like. It's a truck, pulls up in a parking lot, looks a little sketchy. Awesome though. But you got to buy it in large quantities, like 40 pounds of chicken. Go in with one of your neighbors. Go in with a family member. Or just do like I do and have a massive canning session. Freeze up 10 pounds and can 30 pounds. It's really not that hard to do. That's 30 pints. Make yourself a stew, you know, like a chicken broth. And for dinner that night, you throw in some dumplings. You take the rest of the broth and you dehydrate it and make yourself some bouillon cubes. Make you some stock. Concentrate it down so it takes up less room. Like my beef stock here, as you can see, is extremely concentrated. That's what you want to do. You want to make it concentrated so you take up less room with it. But an inventory is really important, especially as the economy is, you know, people are starting to notice the inflation in the economy and they're starting to feel a pinch on their budgets. And that's one of the reasons why you see so much gone, is that in order to do the other things that we need to do to prepare, which I'm going to show you what I've been able to do, some of it now and some of it hopefully in a week or two. And it just frees up your money so that you can do other things with it. Because if you can buy the foods now and eat them 3 years from now, you saved a lot of money. You just wasted a little of your time. And so I'm doing my inventory because I really need to know what I need to purchase this year. And, you know, there have been some surprises. Rice, for example. Let me look here. What do I have in rice? It was wrong on what was in my inventory. I had snuck some extra rice cans in here because when I went to the LDS cannery, I forgot to write down everything that I purchased. So I ended up with more than I thought. All right, where is my rice? Should be right here. Rice. They're in almost 50-pound buckets, so they're 5-gallon buckets, and I have 14 of them. So that is 700 pounds of rice. That's a good amount of rice. It's not enough. Rice and hamburger and dehydrated carrots. And dehydrated carrots are really cheap. They're cheaper to buy than they are to produce. or to buy from the grocery store. So buy the cans of dehydrated carrots. I happen to like Honeyvale, but Provident Pantry is just as good when it comes to carrots. So you take and you do your cheap ground beef and you can up about 100 jars. And then you get your rice and you get your carrots. It is a complete meal. It'll fill you up and it's really good for you. And on top of that, it is the perfect meal for you to feed your dogs. I had a dog who had a stomach issue, and her entire life she had rice, hamburger, and carrots. And that's all she ate for her entire life. Very healthy dog, active, energetic, just a really, really wonderful dog. Died of old age. So when you're thinking about your pets, since dog food only stores for 2 years, and that's so far I've only been able to find that Purina Dog Chow stores that long. There seems to be too much fat in other dog foods, and they tend to go rancid, and your dog will not eat it. So you don't have to worry about poisoning your dog. If it is bad, your dog will not eat it. If they got really, really hungry, they would. But hopefully, when you open yours up, when something bad happens, that first bowl, you'll notice they don't go for it. So it's very important to have extra rice, hamburger, and carrots on hand if you have pets. We all love our pets. Dogs can be a benefit. They can also be a curse. If you've got a dog that barks all the time, you need to find a way to train it now not to bark all the time, to only bark when it needs to alert you. They're a great alarm system. So think about that now. I mean, there's so many things that you can do now to prepare yourself. You know, if with the economy the way it is, what if you lost your job? I would be fine. I wouldn't go hungry. I could use what little money was coming in to take care of everything else. Keep the electricity going, keep the water going, those kind of things. Keep the gas in my gas tank just so I can go for job interviews. And I wouldn't have to worry about feeding my family. You look at this and you say, my goodness gracious, she has a lot of food. I'm one of those people that believe that you can't do this alone. And you may have planted the seed in people, but it may take 5 years before they wake up. I have several people that have woken up recently and really woken up. They're feeling it in their pocketbooks. They're seeing it in society. And so it took 5 years, but in the meantime, I knew, excuse me, I knew that they would probably be people that would be an asset. So I planned for it. I planned for 20 people. And we're going to start rationing from day one. You have to. You got to get people used to it really quick. You don't want to get them used to eating high on the hog and then the food running out. Excuse me. You also have to plan for those things that are going to keep you alive, like your garden. You got to plan for fertilizers. How are you going to fertilize? Store some. If you got no other choice, store some. Find somebody who has chickens. Store their poop. Put it in a big 55-gallon barrel and store it. It'll just be composed. It'll be good. Little things that you can do that a lot of people just don't think about. You know, seeds. We all know seeds. If you store them in your refrigerator rather than your freezer, it actually is better because a lot of times when you harvest your own seeds, you don't get enough moisture out. If you don't get enough moisture out of your seeds, they can germinate or start to germinate in your freezer, and that's it. They're dead. So you want to store them in your fridge. When refrigerator electricity is out, then you have to worry about that then. So I'm going through my inventory. You need to go through yours too. There are a few things in here that I canned up or packaged up just for you guys to show you how they stored. I've been in just about everything and used just about everything. So don't let it just sit there and accumulate dust. Use it. You're going to use it at a lot lesser rate than you would if you had 20 people here, but you're still going to use it. And you're still going to cause that rotation. If you guys have an LDS cannery near you, definitely go do it. All you have to do is volunteer to can your own stuff up and help the others that are there. And you can buy 50-pound bags and take care of it at home. So you don't even have to can your stuff there. You can just volunteer your time for one day and then purchase all your 50-pound bags and bucket them up yourself. Here, let me get up and give you a little glance, because I know you guys like to look at the food. I do too. It makes me feel safe when I look at the food. And you know, we've got the buckets all along the bottom. All along the bottom back there. And we need more. We definitely need more. These are at least 2 deep, all the way down. I don't necessarily like to get the cans. You see we have honey down here. I also have honey powder. I'm going to be opening, I think I did open one for you guys. But honey is indefinite storage if it's left closed. Once you open it, it starts to crystallize. And then all you have to do is put it in Texas. You put it in the sun. And you can get the crystals out of it. But we've got bees coming in, so we're going to be doing our own honey. And just so you know, if you want to buy one of these from somebody, you know, it's like $40, but you can jar it up in quart jars. And the closer you get it to the lid, the less likely it's going to crystallize. But I would just set this out in the sun, and it would thin right out. Another great benefit about honey is that if you eat the honey that's made in your area, it reduces your allergies. And that's a great thing to work on now before you've got a bunch of sick people that you have to deal with. All right, well, let me get back to my inventory, and I'll make sure I attach the link below to where you can get the inventory sheet. It may not work for you perfectly, but you can store up to 3 rotations in it, and it gives you an idea and keeps you on top of it. It'll warn you 6 months before something's due to expire so that you can get it off of your shelf and start using it. I don't believe in waiting for the expiration date. Because mine is located elsewhere, I want to get it out of here when I have 6 months to use it, because if it's something, you know, like dehydrated carrots, that's a lot of carrots to use. So you want to make sure you get them in advance. I've had a lot of questions about my storage area because a lot more people are realizing that they can do this and they don't have to store it all in their house. And they're seeing from my videos just how long things actually last out here. So being in Texas and in Bexar County, it's very hot. And so I'm showing you the extremes. So let me show you how I actually have it set up. And I'll be doing that in another video. And so you'll see for yourself what things I thought about before I set my shed. And how I managed to keep it around 88 degrees. Right now, it's probably, I don't know, 66 in here. So it's probably, what, about 75 outside? Not bad, and my attic fan hasn't even turned on yet. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like what you see in here, please subscribe, rate, and comment. Blessings. Doesn't look like that through the camera lens.
It doesn't look like that through the binocular.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it's tricking you.
Yep. Look at that.